I think you can flip houses in any market, but everybody knows what I'm about to say. You make the money when you buy the house. You can't pay too much for the house or spend too much on the rehab, and make sure you don't overestimate the ARV. Do two of those things wrong, you won't make any money. You do three things, you're paying somebody to take it, and I call that your real estate master's degree.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Leo, and today I'm joined by someone I've been looking to talk for a long time ago. Jonathan, how are you today, man?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm actually pretty good, and excited to have you on our show, man. Listen, I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching your business. So let's dive into the topic. Now, so first of all, so for people who may not be familiar with your world, can you give us a short version? What's your main focus these days?
Yep. I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, on the coast, just north of Myrtle Beach. Everybody knows where that is. Sort of on the coast communities, not a huge area. I've been a real estate broker since 2004. I started flipping houses in 2004. We've gathered a handful of rental property in the last handful of years. Stayed busy the whole time, flipping houses, helping people list houses and sell them, represented buyers along the way. Mostly flips in the investment world. We've done a little bit of new construction, a little bit of rental property all along, a lot more rental property in the last 8 years or so.
Hey, that's good. That's good, man. And now you told me that you are in Myrtle Beach, Florida. Are you operating in any other markets around the country or just Florida?
We're in Wilmington, North Carolina, which is a little bit north of Myrtle Beach.
Okay. Yeah, I know where it is. So are you operating in all 50 states all across the country or only in North Carolina and Florida?
Just here in North Carolina where we live.
Okay.
So
All
within
right.
about an hour and a half radius of here, really, there's about 4 counties that we focus on.
Okay. Perfect. Love it. Now, Jonathan, I want to talk to you about something that really caught my attention, and it's the way that you've been able to flip houses. Now, I know that's something that it's been going on for a while, but can you give us, like your version on how you do it and how special it is for you?
Yep. So we try to find decent deals with motivated sellers, and we do everything from direct mail, SEO, wholesaler network, realtor network. We just try to have relationships that create deals. And we get in front of sellers. I'll do a lot of direct to seller. Sometimes wholesalers bring me deals. Sometimes it's deals I've already seen. And if I have, I just tell them. I've been trying to get a little more relationships going with realtors in the last couple of years, because as they start seeing, and we as realtors start seeing more motivated sellers, I've learned that not everybody has a cash buyer like I do, and like I thought every realtor did. And some of them just don't want to mess with it. A lady I saw today, she's one of them that just doesn't want to mess with it. She's a veteran. She gets plenty of listings, works with plenty of buyers, runs a team. She doesn't want to mess with it. So people like that call me, and I'll go look at it, and I tell them all the time, I want the ones that the seller's embarrassed to list, and that you're embarrassed to list. It's just not going to be a fun process to put it on the market in front of the world and have people come traipsing through their house. And we've seen those
Okay.
houses before. We know what we're talking about. And I don't need to explain that a whole lot more, but I'm just looking for motivated sellers that I can get decent deals from where I can add value and either keep it and hold it as a long term rental or sell it and flip it, fix it and sell it to flip it and make a little bit of money and then do it again.
Okay. Now, when you talk about flipping houses and how the market it is right now, is it a good thing to do right now, or is it still a good business?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I think you can flip houses in any market, but everybody knows what I'm about to say. You make the money when you buy the house, and you
Okay.
also have to project the costs accordingly because you can't pay too much for the house or spend too much on the rehab. Because if you do one of those things, you'll probably still make money. If you do two of those things wrong, you won't make any money. And if you do three things wrong, the third thing being sell the house for not what you thought it would be, you're paying somebody to take it. And I call that your real estate master's degree. So those three things again, I wasn't real clear on that, but don't pay too much for the house, don't spend too much on it, and make sure you don't overestimate the ARV, the after repair value.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. And that's actually not easy, these type of days. Jonathan, something that caught my attention, another topic that caught my attention, and you just mentioned something, like don't overpay, right?
Yep.
Now, you mentioned that the interest rate it's changing, okay? So how you've been managing your business with all these recent changes that have come.
Yeah. So rates have gone up a lot in the last few years. We hope they'll go down, but we have to plan for it not going down unless we see it going down, and then we plan for it. And I think that's tightened up the market quite a bit, and it's eliminated a lot of the competition, and it's made it a little bit more difficult to burr the houses where we buy them, fix them, rent them, and refinance them and keep them. And used to, a few years ago, we could do that and get all the money back and maybe a little more than we started with. Now we're getting the cash out refis done, and they're a little bit less than we started with, but they're still close enough. And we've got enough rental income now to offset the money that we're not getting back for the burrs. So we're still building a portfolio of rentals and we're still flipping houses. So that pays us back a little bit more too. So we're just using everything to our advantage and leveraging different things different ways to make things still make sense. And we're just careful not to pay too much or spend too
Okay.
much. And rent has gone up, but everybody thinks we're making a killing on the rent when taxes and insurance have gone up more than the rent has. And their interest rate has gone up. So we're making less per door on the cash flow, even though we're collecting a lot more in rent than we used to. We've got some rental properties that have doubled in rent income in the last 10 years, but we're still making less money than we were 10 years ago on that same house.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
That's right. And it still works. You just got to be careful. And the
Exactly.
minute they lower rates, it's going to be the same frenzy we've just gone through in the last couple of years. And I kind of hope it stays where it is so we don't have to have the craziness that we've just gone through.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Exactly, exactly. No, and the thing, having someone who knows about the topic like yourself, it helps them a lot. They give them confidence, to make a deal with you. So that's actually pretty good. Jonathan, I want to ask you another question. Now, what's your recipe, for keeping your business running smoothly?
You say we got about 3 more hours here today or 12 minutes? I don't know. The recipe for keeping it running smoothly. You always have to do marketing to get the phone to ring or the leads to come in. And then you
Hmm.
have to be ready to answer the phone. So do the marketing, the right marketing to the right people, speed to lead when you get the lead coming in. And then you've got to, like I said before, know what to pay, know how much it's going to take to fix it, and know how much you can get for it. And inside of that, you got to have the people ready to do the work to get it to the market value and get it sold before the market changes. And that's what a lot of people lose sight of is you got to do it before the market changes. So when the market's stable or even when it's going up, you can hold the house longer and make more, or you can get it done and go do it again. And every time you can get it done and do it again, you're going to make more on that do it again part than you are if you hold out on the one you're doing now.
All right.
So the recipe is get in, get out, do it again.
And do it again. Exactly. There's nothing like doing things the right way, because eventually discipline, if you do it every single day, like eventually will come up. I don't know if
Yeah.
I made myself clear,
Yeah,
but
you're talking about creating a process that you can repeat. And you can
exactly.
kind of do that with flipping houses, but every house is a little bit different. Every subcontractor is a little bit different. Some of them are more
Every
worthless than
area.
others.
Yeah, I've heard about people, that they want to flip houses, and once they have it all remodeled, they said like, "Oh, you know what? The neighbor sold the house for $50,000. I want to sell it in that price." But it means that, the neighbor had a bigger house, maybe remodel the kitchen or whatever.
Yep,
And they don't take those things in account. So it's
that's right.
actually very good, that to have someone like you to tell them exactly what their house is worth, you know once after they remodel it. Now, Jonathan, every operator I know has a moment where things got real. All right, maybe a deal that went sideways, or a time they had to pivot very fast. Do you mind sharing one of those moments?
Sure, let me think of a good one. There's a handful that we all have experienced. One time I bought two houses in the same neighborhood. This is probably 10 years ago. They were almost the same house. One was on a cul-de-sac, one was on just a regular street in the same neighborhood. And I thought, these are both good. The cul-de-sac's probably going to sell first because it's a little bit more private, a little better backyard. Kids can play in the front yard and in the street and, less traffic. Well, we got them both fixed on the market. The one on the regular street sold first. The other one, we could not get rid of it. It was in a VA market. So 90% or more of the buyers have VA financing. So they're really payment shopping more than numbers, house price shopping. But that one had flood insurance. A little bit of the corner of the lot was in the flood zone. And finally, I figured out that they were not buying that house because the flood insurance, which wasn't very much, it kind of priced them out of the payment based on the base allowance housing, which is the off base housing allowance that they get for living in a house that they buy. So finally, we figured that out, and I ended up meeting somebody whose next door neighbor worked for a company that does.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
LOMA letters, letter of map amendment,
Hmm.
LOMA. And she said, get a surveyor to do an elevation certificate and regrade the yard so that the yard is above the base floodplain elevation of the flood zone. So we did that literally for a few $100s, got a new elevation certificate, turned it into FEMA or whoever does, I guess that's FEMA that does flood elevation certification and insurance and all that stuff. They tell you whether or not you have to have flood insurance. So we basically got that house and the lot outside of the flood zone because it had been inside. And after that, we ended up selling it to a USDA buyer, financing buyer. So it wasn't VA, but it still was the same principle. They didn't have to have the flood insurance, which would have made their payment more. and that one finally went away. And I thought I'd never get rid of that one, and I did lose money on that one. I hate to even say how much, but it was a learning experience too. So even though I lost money, I still learned something, and now I know how to not make that mistake again. And if I do make that mistake again, as long as it's just a little bit of difference, I know how to fix it.
Yeah, and look, that's the kind of stuff that people don't want to talk about enough
Yep,
when when they lose money, because nobody gets into the real estate business to lose money or to flip a house to lose money. And
that's right.
honestly, for me, that's what separates the folks who dabble from the ones who actually stay in the game the long term. And that's my personal opinion. Now, what's your next real goal for you in your business?
I'm not one of those guys that wants to scale and hire a bunch of people and do 10 times more deals than I'm doing now. I'm almost at the point where I want to do the opposite. I want to refine rental portfolios so that I can live on it sooner than later. So I want to do keep the best, sell the rest kind of thing. And when I sell the rest, I want to pay off the best. So that way I have more passive income from the rentals that are the best ones that I want to keep. I'd still probably flip houses for a while until I just don't want to do it anymore, which hopefully will be sooner than later because who wants to do it forever?
Exactly.
And that way I'll have passive income with still property management in place and relationships there to keep that stuff moving. And as we pay off more houses that we're able to keep, that becomes a very different lifestyle than the last 20 years of the uphill battle of flipping houses, dealing with subcontractors, finding deals, making deals, getting to closing on the purchase, getting through the rehab, getting to closing on the sale, and then doing it again. It's like bailing out a sinking ship sometimes is how it feels, but then you
Exactly.
finally get paid 2 or 3 times close together and it feels good until 6 months later you got 6 rehabs going and everything's on the market all of a sudden and all the money's going out and everybody's been paid but me. And then finally you get paid again and do it all over again. And you can't space it out so you buy one and sell one every month. It just never works like that. So you just have to be ready for everything.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Now, I know that a lot of people are listening. They are either earlier in their journey or looking to level up, and I think they'll benefit from hearing this. When it comes about building relationships, okay, and growing your network, what's made the biggest difference for you?
I think just doing the networking, telling people what you're looking for, whether it's a deal or a plumber or a
Hmm.
buyer or whatever, the best referrals come from people you know and people they know. And also giving, like just giving back, giving people information and they give you stuff. I'm not saying you give me something and I'll give you something. I'm saying you ask me a question, I'm going to tell you the answer. And then
Exactly.
when I have a question, I'm going to ask you. And if you know, great. If you don't know, tell me who to call. And that's just how the
Short,
world
in
should
short
work.
words, relationships are everything in this space.
Yeah,
Because if I don't recall, you mentioned that when you don't know something, you go to a group of friends that you have that are
yep,
realtors, investors, and you ask them questions, and someone from there will actually, put their hand up like, hey, Jonathan, I have that answer for you. So
that's right.
relationships actually do make a difference in this space. Am I right?
That's right. Yep. And like speaking of plumbers, when somebody needs a plumber, I'll say, here, call this plumber. But if he doesn't answer, let me know. And then I'll tell the plumber if they call you, somebody I sent calls you and they don't pay you or they don't take good care of you or if they're just not nice to you, let me know. That way I know I need to go after my friend to pay the plumber or I need to go after the plumber to answer the phone when somebody I send to them calls them, call them back. Return the phone call. Go, if you can't do it, tell them you can't do it. You're too busy. So when that
Exactly.
happens enough and they do what they need to do, my friend pays the plumber and the plumber helped my friend. When every time I call the plumber when I need them, guess what happens? They answer the phone. And then they go do what I need them to do because I've been looking out for them, sending them business from people that I know are going to take care of them and pay them when they do the work that my friend needs. So there's
Exactly.
not enough of that goes around. Everybody's trying to hoodoo everybody else and get one over on everybody, and that's just what the world has turned into. It seems like when
Yeah,
there's
it
just
seems like that.
the good old boy network is gone in some places, and everybody's out for themselves, and it shouldn't be like that.
All right. All right, Jonathan, before we wrap up, if someone wanted to reach out, connect with you, or maybe collaborate or learn more about what you're doing, what is the best way for them to reach you out?
Probably the best way is email. It's Jonathan Swanson 23 at gmail.com. JonathanSwanson23@gmail.com. And my website is letssellitnow.com. And you can shoot me a message through there.
All right, perfect.
That's probably the
Well,
two best ways.
all right, all right. Well, listen, Jonathan, I really appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective, man. We need more people in this space who are actually doing it the right way. And thanks again for being here, man. Now, for
Yes, sir.
those
Thank
of
you.
you tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. All right. We got more conversations coming up with operators just like Jonathan who are out there building real businesses. All right. Until then, we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good one.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply.